Hello, everyone, and welcome to the last stream of the day. Um, really excited to be joined here by Francesco Berton and Phoebe Shalloway. We will be exploring games that imagine post-crisis worlds. This is the final moment of our theme for the day, which is Beyond Repair. Let's start by introducing our guests. So Francesco Berton is part of Safe Place, a newly formed independent game design studio based in Italy, working on Venice 2089. Phoebe Shalloway is a game developer and writer from the United States. They're especially interested in experimental narrative forms, interdisciplinary media, and those that deal with issues of environmental catastrophe and capitalism. Thank you both for joining us today. I guess let's jump straight in with our first game, which is Venice 2089. In our virtual control room, behind the scenes, playing the games, is our technical producer Joe Summers. Hello, Joe.
Hello.
Brilliant. So yeah, let's bring up that first game. Marvelous. Yeah, so Venice 2089. Let's jump in and start. And while Joe's playing through, we'll kind of just chat about the game itself and the gameplay. If you're watching in the chat, please send any questions in. We'll have a moment for questions and answers after we've gone through both games. Cool. Yeah, let's start it off.
Right. So hi everyone. I'm Francesco from Team Safe Place Studio, and I'm the game director of Venice 2089. In this game, you will play as Nova, this teenager that is bored about their career in university and is a pathetic teen. And basically, she is on the first day of holiday at their grandpa's house. And we are in Venice, but we still don't know
yeah, I think it's
why
a
and how.
great opening. You don't quite know where you are, and like having I guess we'll see in a moment. I don't kind of want to spoil it, but when you kind of come out of the house, it's a really kind of beautiful moment to see suddenly the environment that's there.
Yeah, it's more. It starts very small in our room and in our cozy room, but when we will head out, it will be also in a 3D environment. So we have a sort of a jump here.
Cool.
So Nova's passed the childhood in this house, but now she grew up and is kind of remembering how it was to be a child in Venice, playing with things, collecting stuff, and so the room is kind of empty, but during the course of the game, Noah will be able to fill up this room with so many objects that talks a bit about Venice and the relationship between Nova and the characters of Venice.
Cool. Let's head out.
Let's head out and see what happens. So here we are in the outside world. Nova will pass some days at this grandpa's house. This is the first day, so every day has its own routine that we have to do before getting to the new day of our game. So Nova goes downstairs and meets her grandpa, who is there drinking some coffee.
Yeah, I think that's such a great touch, emerging and seeing that there's like a boat on the roof. Like it immediately gives these hints about the flooding and kind of the world we're about to step in. It's really clever.
Yeah, in some way, all Venice inhabitants have find their own way to prevent their house to be sunk, to be flooded by the water of Venice. So this boat is an example of one of the many possibilities, maybe also romantic possibilities that we can we take on the problem.
Cool.
So we have Grandpa, who is basically a zoomer for us because he was born in more or less in 2020. So
right.
The first take we had on the dialogues and the things that you will say during the your gameplay is that we have some references about our present, and so being able to see what 2089 could be, it's also a reflection of what present is at the moment.
While we're going through this dialogue, can you just tell us a bit about how the development for this game started? Because it's still quite early in its process. When did you start putting this game together? Or when did Safe Place come together to start putting the game together?
Well, our team started in a school, in a private school in Italy, doing some works of game design, some projects, and we were at the last year of this school, and we wanted to bring up a project that would have also a possibility in the industry. So we asked ourselves what kind of game we want to bring out and try to sell to the people, or what kind of game represents also ourselves as Italian developers. So we thought about we kind of wanted a game where there was a story in the background about environment or an apocalypse or something big in the background, but on the foreground we wanted a kind of tiny story about a little girl, a little boy, a teenager, a person that is not a hero, is an anti-hero, is someone in the corner that some games in the industry don't explore so much.
Right.
So we also wanted to bring the story of Venice from an Italian perspective. So, and we found that Venice was perfect for mixing up the global crisis with also a cool gameplay. Or
it is cool gameplay. For anyone who was watching and hasn't seen the game before, I will spoil it now. Nova has a hoverboard, and that's very cool. Yeah. Kind of centering back on Nova, you mentioned this idea of the protagonist being a kind of not a hero, just someone kind of existing in the game. Like, how did you kind of settle on that as the way you wanted to explore this world?
Yeah, we are talking about environment, so we didn't want to be as moral as some games could be. In this case, we wanted to be also a little distanced to this problem, because sometimes we found that young people are like the main character of this era, or are the heroes of this era that will have to take on environmental crisis and environmental problems and try to solve them all. But sometimes young people want to do something else. So here we are Nova that doesn't know what to do in her life. So it's kind of mixing the problem of a young teenager with the problem of the world that is upon her.
Yeah. Okay, so we're outside now.
Yeah.
I guess this is the first. If anyone missed that while we were talking through, the first objective of the game is to put posters around for Nova's grandpa, who wants to talk about kind of regenerating Venice that's kind of slowly crumbling. And I think that's the first poster even goes right here.
Yeah. Yeah, so Nova has this kind of relationship with their grandpa of fully commitment to grandpa's objective, that is trying to save the world with try to achieve the more people as possible, to gather the more people as possible to change the situation. In the later part of the game, Nova will find also another example of trying to save the world, that is her friend Leo, that is on the contrary more like a vandal, more like an anarchist.
Yeah. Is that the character you meet who's kind of spray painting later on? Yeah.
Leo wants to change the world as one being, so he thinks himself as a one-man army, while on the contrary, Grandpa has grown up and it's more I don't know, tactical about the way he wants to try to save Venice from corporations, because in our game we wanted to see a Venice that is not the famous monuments of Venice, like San Marco or some kind of big monuments. We wanted to show a bit of the little corners of Venice that you see as a tourist that is lost in Venice, not the one that goes directly at the main pop monument he wants to visit.
Yeah. So I think we're having a slight issue just with a bit of buffering on the stream there. But if anyone's watching in the chat, just let us know if you're having any troubles too.
Yeah, it's buffering for me. I was
Okay.
trying to figure out if it was
For me too.
Yeah, okay, good to know. Not just me.